Man, I always think that's
Is this where you do your intro? I don't know what's
yeah,
going
this is
on.
where I do my intro.
All right.
Do you want to hear my intro?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lou Bosch. That's not my podcast name. Welcome to the Real Talk Podcast with your host, Lou Bosch. I got KP here. KP here.
My name's KP. Nice to meet you guys.
Let's just restart.
No, keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling? All
Keep
right.
it rolling.
All right, guys, this is my first ever YouTube podcast. You're going to need to stop laughing.
Yeah,
This is my first ever YouTube podcast, but, it should still be on Spotify if I can extract the audio. We'll see if I can do it. If not, I'll get KP or Rob to help me out. But this is my good friend KP, otherwise known as Kyle Dimitri Peters. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, good. So, how's quarantine going so far, KP? How's the fam? Obviously, your Metallica Mondays with your dad are crazy in the house,
I'm not going to lie. I'm not really there for Metallica Monday. I'm usually up in my room playing video games. But other than that, quarantine's going pretty well. Staying inside, staying safe. That's about it.
That's true, you are. Well, we talk every day, so, there's not much more I can say. I've been staying in too, everybody. No worries. So you don't need to yell at me.
I can
But,
confirm.
KP and I are roommates, unfortunately, at Savannah College of Art and Design at SCAD. And we've been roommates since freshman year, since coming out of high school. We've been close ever since sophomore year, I think, right?
Sophomore year of high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say sophomore year of high school is when we started really making films with Rob Productions. I think that's how we got pretty close.
Yeah, that's true. I remember when you guys got the dolly. You guys were having a good time with that.
You were there.
I know. I was there.
Yeah.
I was recording it.
We were just taking it up and down the halls.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was nice, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we tried to use it for the comeback kid, but didn't work out.
Yeah, it needs to be a smooth surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The street didn't work out so well.
I got steady hands, so it worked out.
So KP, you want to tell everybody what you're going to SCAD for?
Yeah, so I'm going to SCAD, my major in film and television. You stop laughing?
You're doing a great
I'm
job.
a film and television major, and with a focus in cinematography. So what that means is basically I just want to focus on camera work, camera moves, stuff like that.
True. So you've been the camera operator for, many projects, short films, commercials. So, we're just going to talk a little bit about cinematography today, KP. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's 100% okay with me.
We'll just go wherever the conversation takes us. Follow down the road.
That sounds good to me.
Go with the flow. So let's talk about high school for a second. We were in that film class together sophomore year. We made Stuck in the Middle. Did that film class ultimately make you realize that you wanted to do camera work, or was it a little bit later? Because I know for me, for Rob and I, after we did Stuck in the Middle, that's when I really wanted to get into, acting. So was it different for you?
Yeah, I guess you could say it was a little different for me. That sophomore year class was the first film class I'd ever taken. So I didn't really know what to expect going into it. And then when we kind of divided the group up into different roles, I wasn't super adamant about being the camera operator.
Yeah.
But I just kind of did it. And then from there, after Stuck in the Middle, we kind of broke off, did our Rob Productions thing where it was more me, you, Rob, and Jack. And we all just kind of found our roles within that. And I found a love for cinematography. Rob found a love for directing. You found a love for acting. Jack, acting as his secondary career. But yeah. No, I kind of found it out a little bit afterwards, more when we were doing stuff outside of school with Rob Productions.
Yeah. I mean, that's when your acting debut really took off. Stuck in the Middle.
My acting debut.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's gorgeous, to
I
say the
know.
least.
Well,
Yeah.
The Crew 2 is when you really came out of your shell.
Whew. Man, the
A lot
Crew
of
2.
quotes. A lot of quotes from that one.
Didn't recognize you.
That's one of them. But Stuck in the Middle. Who did the steady cam for that shot? Do you remember? You know the opening shot where we go up the
Oh,
stairs.
well, that was 100% me.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that
No,
was me.
I definitely don't think that was you.
Dude, I don't know.
No, you definitely did not do that steady cam shot
I
because
remember.
you
I
were
remember having on the rig.
you were in the shot.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, I turned the corner and you were laying in bed.
Oh, I thought we stopped it at the. I thought we stopped it.
we
At,
did at like in post, but
oh,
we
okay.
tried to do the whole thing when
That makes sense.
yeah.
I had something in my head that I did that, but I
You
guess
did
I.
another steady cam shot recently.
Well, yeah, because Uncool too.
Yeah. Yeah,
That one
that
was
was a
fire.
good steady. Yeah, that was a
That
nice one.
was.
Yeah. That was
That
clean,
was good.
I will say.
So, what's it like being on the set of a Rob Productions film versus the set of SCAD? Because for me, obviously, SCAD students can get a little hectic sometimes. Nothing against SCAD
Yeah.
students, but like there's a lot of time crunch, and Rob Productions is kind of just, we have no time crunch, so we're just kind of shooting scene by scene.
Yeah. I think the main thing, like the main difference between Raw Productions and SCAD is like SCAD's always going to be on a deadline. And then Raw Productions, like we usually just find times when we're all free and we just shoot bits and pieces of scenes here and there. So overall, I'd say Raw Productions is way more relaxed. A smaller crew too. It's really just me and Rob behind the camera for the most parts.
Yeah.
Um, but like whereas SCAD, you have a whole crew of 10, 20 people sometimes on set, and it just everybody starts getting people's ways sometimes, and it's just. I mean, I'm not knocking anything on SCAD sets because
Right.
it's a
Right.
great experience, and I mean, it's what the professional world is like. But it is nice, like going from that back to Raw Productions, where like everybody's comfortable around each other. We all get
Yeah.
along. We all joke around, have fun, and at the end of the day, we get what we need to get. So
Yeah. Well, I was on the set of Council of Dads, and dude,
yeah,
there were just so many people. Like it was
yeah,
insane. And they
yeah,
were like, well, first off, the extras, the other extras were kind of goofing off because, they were just trying to make money. And I was just like,
hmm
well, I'm trying to make this my career. So
yeah, true.
they were, messing around. And then like they started getting in people's way and then they started getting yelled at. And I was like, okay.
I'm gonna just stand in the back.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to eliminate those people though because, they need extras. So
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
So cinematography, is cool. I like cinematography. You make it look good. You make me look good.
Yeah, that's the
That's
goal.
that's that's why I like the cameraman
Yeah,
or woman.
yeah, true. You can't discriminate.
Yeah,
2020.
exactly. So what is one of the best movies or TV shows that you've seen with the best cinematography?
Uh, I'd have to say The Revenant, which was made in 2016 at Leonardo DiCaprio, and they shot that on location in like Canada and Argentina. And like what I really liked about that movie was the fact that they used pretty much all natural light. Like it was all on location, so it was all in the mountains and like the snowy areas of Canada and Argentina. And like they were literally in the freezing cold elements almost the whole entire time. So
Oh
they wanted to create like I guess a believable and real feel to the movie rather than something that's faked in a Hollywood studio.
yeah,
And I mean, they did a fantastic job. The cinematography is gorgeous. I think I won Best Picture that year. So I
yeah.
mean,
I mean that movie is amazing. It's just
yeah, yeah,
Leo DiCaprio is so good in that movie too, and I think Tom Hardy's in that movie, right?
I'm not completely sure. I don't want to give out false information here, but
Yeah, that's true. I don't need. I just think
I
Tom
don't
Hardy.
really know
I'm
many
not
of the
sure.
actors' names to be honest, but
Yeah, that's true, except mine.
yeah, Blue Bosch.
But um, you know, when they're filming, when people, cinematographers are filming like The Revenant or whatever, and they're trying to come up with the shots. How do you, go about doing a certain shot to convey a certain message?
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. There's a bunch of different angles and like lenses that you can use to give different effects. For example, like if you do a high angle looking down on a person, you're going to make that person feel small. And if you're using a wide angle lens with that, it's going to show more environment around them and it's going to make them feel even tinier depending on how far away you are from the subject. Whereas if you shoot like underneath of them, you're going to give them more of a sense of power and like importance in the scene. And if you shoot that, I mean, if you shoot that with a wide angle lens, again, you're just giving a different feel than if you shoot something with like more depth of field behind them.
Right.
I mean, there's a bunch of different things. There's Dutch angle, which is where you turn the camera like on like sideways to give more of like an uneasy feel.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
was
bunch
gonna
of
ask.
different tricks and stuff like that.
I was
But
gonna ask about that because we were on set together for what's
which
that?
one? The recent one?
Yeah, what's that called?
Making things right?
Making Things Right. There it
Yeah.
is. It always slips my mind.
So here's some too many sets, you know?
No, but yeah, I was gonna ask about that because
Yeah.
we did a couple Dutch angles for that.
Yeah. The reason we did Dutch angles for that was because your character, like with your character, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your character was like kind of going insane in a sense. If you haven't seen Making Things Right, I think that's coming out soon. But like your character was just like going, I don't know how to explain it without giving it away. Or
Yeah.
then just going insane and like your mental state was just whack. So we wanted to give it kind of like a Dutch angle just to like emphasize how uneasy you were about the situation that was happening.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of like, yeah, I was kind of like losing my mind a little bit there.
Yeah, I just don't, yeah, I don't want to give it away, but once it comes out, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have to
We'll
check
send
it
out
out.
the link for that one. So, in our last podcast, I know you didn't listen because you don't listen to my podcast.
You're just going to call me out like that right in the middle of your podcast.
I'm sorry. I had to. I had to. So it was even the STN episode with Rob, man. It was good memories. Come on.
True. I'll go back. I'll go back.
No, you won't. It's okay. All right.
And I live my memories through Snapchat on that week.
Well, Rob and I talked about Mr. Charles and how he kind of influenced us, in our specific direction.
Mhm.
And, he made it clear, that we can do what we want to do. And I think specifically that hit for me was we were in class one time and he showed a film on Netflix of his past student, I guess. And, for me, that was just kind of like, I was watching him and I was like, I can do that. I can act better than he is. I wasn't thinking that. Okay, I kind of was, but I was like, wait, I can do that. And so
Yeah.
that kind of hit for me. So, he just kind of, for me, showed me colleges, but I think he showed you SCAD. And then I was just kind of like, I'll follow you. But I didn't. Okay. I didn't. So how did Charles, influence you on your path? And, how did he, impact you throughout high school?
I mean, aside from the obvious things like teaching me like stuff about cameras and the basic fundamentals, I mean, he really motivated me to like actually pursue a career in film because coming from like our high school, it was kind of small and not many people like go into the arts. So for me, and I know for my parents at the beginning, like it was a little nerve wracking because I'm going into something that's so up in the air and so like different that they had no idea what to expect. I honestly had no idea what to expect, but I mean, Mr. Charles was just there to kind of like put me at ease and be like, listen, like I promise you can make a career out of this. Like if you go to the school for a film, like there's plenty of opportunities when you get out. So I think that was like the main influence he had on me, was just like to follow my dreams and be happy with what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember going to my guidance counselor, and I told him what I wanted to do. They were, and I forget her name, but she was the college counselor. But do you remember her name?
No,
You don't remember? Okay.
absolutely.
Well, I went to her and I told her that I wanted to be an actor, and she was like, "Yeah, but have you looked at media advertising?" I was like, "Forget you, forget you."
Oh man, it's
Yeah. So.
it's just I didn't want to go down a road that I would be like regretting. I wanted
Yeah. Right.
something different each day. And like the other thing I was debating between was I was going to be a film major or a history teacher. And I was like,
Like your
well,
dad.
yeah, like my dad. And like history, like I was always intrigued by it, but I mean, film, I was just like able to express my thoughts and opinions without having to do the same thing every day.
Yeah. Well, like, you get to, use different cameras, I guess, each time, right?
Like for what?
For every project. Like, is it a different camera each time, or is it kind of
Um,
like the same?
I mean, you can use different cameras each time. I've I've learned a bunch of different cameras. Like I know how to use them, but I usually stick with. I've been sticking with the Canon C100 and the Canon C300 lately, just because I like the series and that model in
Hmm.
particular. But I mean, I've learned cameras from like just standard DSLRs all the way up to like the Red Epic, the Red Gemini, the Alexas, Sony F65s, and that's what like those last few cameras are like what the industry's using. So definitely, it's nice to know them, but you don't need the biggest and best cameras to make a good film, is what I've learned.
Right, right. I was on the, obviously, I just said this, but I was on the set of Council of Dads, and they had one of those big cameras, and I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, that's
yeah,
bigger than
it's a big rig. Yeah.
But out of curiosity, how do you like come up with the shots in your head? Like, do you work with? I know you work with Logan a little bit on the shots and stuff, but do you
Yeah.
always work with the directors on your shots, or do you come up with the
Yeah,
shot?
you usually work with the directors on your shots just because at the end of the day, it is their vision and their film. So
Ah,
it's just my job to like communicate what their vision is through shots that they may not have thought of before. So that's why I usually sit down with the director and go through the shot list with them. And we usually come up with stuff on our own, or not on our own, like together. And then from there, we try and cut down on shots because usually it's a lot. Um, but yeah, it's usually like a co-op with the DP and the director.
yeah, right, right. So what are the some of the favorite shots you've done, and how did you film them?
Ooh, some of the favorite shots I've done. Hmm. I would have to say, like, usually environmental shots are ones that are always like gorgeous. Like I said, like this is kind of bringing it back to Revenant, where it was all natural light and they're just shooting
Yeah.
in nature. I mean, you can't get any more beautiful than that. And then some of my other favorite shots actually come from in the studio where you're setting up all this lighting equipment, all these different angles, rigs, like C stands, sandbags, lights, and then you just get that perfect feel to the shot, and it was exactly what you're going for. And I mean, I don't know if I can necessarily narrow down a shot in general that I'm just like, wow, like that's my favorite shot. But
I know mine.
what's yours?
But the ones that you've shot. My favorite has always been the painting recreation. Well, actually, it just recently became, but that, man,
That
that
did
was
look
so
good.
good.
That did look
Oh
good.
man,
Yeah. I'll have to. Did I post that on YouTube? I can't remember if I did or not. I think
I
I
don't think
did.
it did.
No, I think I did.
I don't know. You'll have to check it out, guys, on KP Entertainment
Yeah,
on
KP
YouTube.
Entertainment on YouTube and Instagram. Give it a follow. I
Yes.
post some of my new stuff there. So I've actually gotten into photography recently too. So I've been posting some stills that I worked in collab with Julian
With Julian.
on. So he's a fashion major. We've been doing fashion shoots, fashion photo, and that's been a fun time. I've been enjoying
So,
that.
so what's the difference between shooting a film and shoot just pictures? Is there any difference really, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, well, at the end of the day, obviously, photo and film are different just because one's moving picture and one's still picture.
Right.
But I mean, when I was setting up lighting stuff for Julian, like in the studio, I mean, it didn't feel much different than if I were doing like setting up lighting for a film, other than the fact that like when I'm doing fashion photo, the light doesn't need to feel like it's natural. Like I can blow out the background and make it completely white and nobody will ever think anything of it just because obviously the focus isn't on the story as much as the person and the model and the stuff that she's wearing.
Ah,
So yeah,
that's
that's
interesting.
that's the difference between that. But I have been enjoying that recently.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the pictures.
Yeah, I know you
Looking at the pictures,
have.
even though I've never been a damn model.
That's all right. It's usually girls models for Julian. He's got a plethora, so
Julian, he does. He does. They're
uh,
never ending.
I know. Or just like DM one on Instagram and she'll be like, sure. I'll be like, all right, let's go with it.
You know, a lot of people think doing a creative career is kind of overwhelming or impractical, but you know, for some people, they really want to do it. So how could it be like overwhelming for you or too much for you to handle? But how do you, if it does become overwhelming, how do you handle it?
You mean just like in my major in general? Or
Yeah,
just in the creative field in general?
both, both.
Well, within my field, it can get overwhelming when you're on set and you just have like the main experience for me that I get is when I'm at college, I learn the most from being on set, and that's not necessarily for my class. So then while I'm on set, I also have to go home and then I have to do homework on top of that, and that can get overwhelming at times just because like I just feel like I have so much to do and I just don't have enough time to do it.
Yeah,
But like in the creative field in general, it can be overwhelming just because sometimes it is unpredictable. Like things are constantly changing and like trends are constantly being set, especially like in fashion or in film. Like new cameras are always coming out, new standards for film are always changing. So in that sense, it can be overwhelming.
yeah,
But I think you like if you're going into something creative, you just have to roll with it. I mean, you can have a plan A and a plan B. It's always good to have that, but at the end of the day, you just gotta kind of follow your dreams and see where you end up. I mean, you just got to trust in your skills and abilities, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I've been, you know, hearing a lot, like along with that line, plan A and plan B. You know, we've been having these actors come and talk to us over Zoom or whatever, and they say they didn't really have a plan B. I mean, they always talked about they have their support jobs, you know, waiting at a
Yeah,
restaurant or
yeah.
you know at a pharmacy or a store or whatever. But they you know they always just had a plan A. So that's interesting. Do you have a plan B, or is this just kind of you're going?
I mean, my plan A is going to be like, obviously, I want to do something in cinematography, but my plan B is also recognizing when I first go into the industry, I'm probably not going to get that right away. Like, it's a rare chance I'm going to get that right away. So I've been taking like a lot of other classes, such as editing and just like even directing classes, even though I don't want to be a director.
Yeah,
But like it's just I'm finding a love for like every aspect of film. So wherever I go, I know I'm gonna be happy.
yeah,
And it's just like from there I'll just work my way into the industry and honestly just see where it takes me. I'm not opposed to any job rather than another. I just want to be doing something I love.
yeah. I know you're doing like um, assistant director on set. Is that kind of was that like in your classes or whatever? Did you have to do that or?
I
heavy.
wasn't assistant director. I was like assistant camera. Is that what you mean?
No, on the set for the one with Javi and Alyssa, the in the creative building.
Oh,
Who-
I was, yeah, that's AC. That
Ah,
was like assistant camera. So that's like focus pulling and stuff like that.
oh shucks.
Yeah, that's all right. Same. Just ADAC, one letter.
One letter off.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
What are your what are what is one of your goals as a cinematographer? Like, what's your dream with this degree? I guess you get.
I mean,
What's your
at
dream,
the
man?
at the end of the day, I just want to like make a name for myself. Where that is, I don't have a set path for that. I mean, if I end up going down the commercial road, like I'd love to do that. That's constantly different. It's always changing. Lots of money every single day because you're working on new projects every day. I mean,
Yeah,
if I go down TV series, like if I'm shooting stuff for television series, like for example, like Breaking Bad or something like that, like something along those lines. I mean, I'm not opposed to that either. Or if we do movies, I mean, I just love all aspects of just being behind the camera and showing people like a different kind of view of a traditional storyline or product or TV show. I mean, the dream is just to be a successful cinematographer at the end of the day and be recognized within my industry.
right, right. I know right out of college you're gonna be earning 50K. So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thanks. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
For context, guys.
No, there's no context to that. There's no
Okay.
context to that. Next question, please.
Next question.
Next question.
All right. Well, we're on the last bit here, last
All
chunk.
right.
So, my podcast, it really, you know, it's named The Real Talk because, I only want to talk real and, speak reality, not, give out false hope, but also give out hope in the reality sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're the first guest on the YouTube podcast. So I got a couple questions for you to finish up the episode.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, knowing what your dream is in cinematography, what is advice you would give to yourself 5 years ago or someone going into the industry now and trying to pursue a dream like this?
I mean, I can't really give any advice as far as like going into the industry just because I'm kind of doing that myself right now. I'm trying to get my foot in the door. So, I mean, 5 years from now, you ask me that same question and I can look back on it and be like, all right, this is like a good way of doing it. But 5 years ago from today, I mean, I would just tell somebody who like has just started, like it's okay to experiment. It's okay to have fun. It doesn't need to be serious 100% of the time. Just like do what you love and not force anything. And I think that's like the one takeaway that I would have told myself 5 years ago is just like, don't stress about like this or that or anything. Just kind of like go with the punches, go with the flow, and just follow your dream.
Were you stressing about it or
I
something?
mean, no, not necessarily with Raw Productions, but like, I mean, other things like in school. I mean, not necessarily in film class because I mean, Mr. Charles' class was pretty laid back. But even in general, just like with school, even through college, I just like sometimes I just stress myself out with when I have so much work to do rather
Mm.
than just like going back to the roots and seeing like just doing what I love.
Yeah, well, that also, that has a little something to do with procrastination.
I've never procrastinated in my life. I know what you're talking
Me neither. I don't know what that word means even.
about. Oh man.
But I always tell, my listeners to go after what they want. If they have a
Yeah.
dream, just go after it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have one more question.
This should be good.
Okay. Now, imagine yourself 5 years from now in the future. What is advice you'd give yourself right now instead of 5 years earlier?
So what's some advice I'd give myself now for
Yeah.
future self?
Okay, but like right now, like, me and you, we're going to start to learn how to live in the creative field. And,
Yeah.
some people, for me out of high school, I wasn't really sure about this, even though I wanted to do it. I wasn't really sure if it was practical or not. So, I mean, what would you tell someone wanting to do this? Or I guess what would you tell yourself now about to go into the field and about to know what it's actually like out there?
To be confident. I mean, at the end of the day, like if somebody asked you to do a job, like even if you have no idea of like exactly how to do it, be confident, take it on, learn, adapt. I mean, that's how you're going to get at least into the film industry. You have to be willing to take those chances, and if you fail, you learn from your failures. If you succeed, you learn from that too. And I mean, the doors are just endless with people who are willing to take a chance on you. So you just got to be confident in what you do. And I think that's
Yeah,
what I tell
absolutely.
myself now.
Yeah, I 100% agree because, that's exactly what our professors and, these actors coming to visit us are telling us to, just be confident.
Yep.
And they're telling us like you're gonna fail, so you better get used to it.
Yep.
So that's like one of their main lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
There will
so
be failures. That's for sure.
will be failures. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to deny that.
I hope I'm living in a cardboard box.
Me too.
Not together, separate
Neighbors, though.
neighbors.
Could build a little window in between our boxes so we can talk to each other.
That would be sick.
Yeah, my box is gonna be big, just so you guys know.
All
Comfortable.
right, guys. Well, this is KP. Thanks for coming on today, dude. I really
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. Anytime. It took a while to set this up, so
Yeah, let's hope you can actually download the recording.
I know, right? That would stink if I can't. But if you guys haven't checked him out yet, go on YouTube, go to kp.entertainment. Is that it?
Yep.
Or can't you just type in KP Entertainment?
You might be able to. I don't know. There's a few other KP entertainments out there. They're fake.
They're not as good either.
Yeah.
I've
Facts.
looked at their clips. It's not good.
Yeah.
One was a kid slapping his mom.
Well, why you promoting that under my name?
I'm not promoting it. I'm saying don't go watch it. Make sure you see the gold and black letters.
Yeah,
KPN
golden black logo. Yep.
gold and black logo.
A little circle.
Go check him out on Instagram too, and follow his real page too. Your real Instagram, KB Peters 32.
Yeah, that's right.
He's ugly, but it gets
Eh.
better.
I need some pity follows.
All right, KP, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. We'll see you later. Peace out,
Yep.
guys.
I'm gonna stop the recording.
Stop recording.